gonna give a very brief instruction about how to make good like pour coffee, what makes it good. So first, I want to talk about a little bit about the types of coffee beans. So there are three major coffee beans in the world. The most popular one is this Arabic, and the bean is small, and the flavor is various. So basically, you can taste like sour, sweet, bitter, whatever, floral, or like something like fruity, whatever. You can taste from it. And because it has many different flavors, so people use it to make like expensive or good coffees, like power coffee capsule, or even or use it in like tournaments. Then for like Robusta, then for this one, it's also small beans. It's strong and bitter. It contains more caffeine. Uh, it's like also like well produced all around world, and it's usually used to make like instant coffee. And then the last one is the Liberica. The bean is large, and people do not really like the flavor of it. Someone plant those like coffee trees because they want to use the wood to make something. They want the tree, not the beans. But they also produce some good quality beans, but it's very rare. That's why they're only about like 1 to 6% production in the world. And then I will talk more about Arabica because this is like what people drink every day usually when they go to a coffee store. So there are like two major types. One is called typical, the other is like Bourbon. So one is the original species, it's four, and this one is a mutation of the original species. However, it's also very popular. And the color of the beans, I mean, have different colors. It has like red, yellow, orange, and pink. And when it goes from like red to pink, it's become more rare, more and more rare, and the flavor is better and better. And for all the other, there are also other like species, and they are hybridization of like these two, or like or hybridization among different combinations of those like plants. And there are also some local varieties. For example, the very popular geisha. Technically, it is Arabica as well. It's also a typical. However, people want to call it like geisha species because they want to make the brand popular. But it just usually is like usually it's a subset of the typical. And then the next, so first is like different beans will give different like flavor. And then the way that the beans are processed are also important. There are three main like processing methods all around the world. One is called natural method. So basically, the farmers will pick the beans from the picked fruits or cherries from the trees and leave them on the ground. So and the sun will make them dry, and they will pick the large ones, good ones, and put them into the bag, and it's what we see on the market. And the next one is like washed process. So this is the takes the longest time, and this is the most expensive process to handle like coffee beans. And this method also uh, this method is usually used for like very good quality beans like geisha. That those beans are very expensive, so they use the best slowest method to process it. So they will first use water to wash the beans to like flush the beans. So which means those small beans or low quality beans or unwrapped beans, they will be filtered out, and they will keep those better ones. And then they will remove the cherry skin and the cherry pulp, and then leave them in the water for a ferment process, and then they will wash it again to wash out the leftover cherry skin and pulp, and then dry it and then sell it into the market. This is the most expensive processing method. And the last one is called honey process. It's like a mixture of the washed process and natural process. And the final product looks like this. So The different approach, the different methods used to process the beans will give different flavors to the coffee. For the natural process, because they didn't really remove the cherry skin and pulp since the beginning, they left there. So the flavor of these beans are not stable. Some of them may be sweet, some of them may be sour, some of them may be like a fruity. So and when people drink like expensive coffee or use coffee beans for tournaments, they want something that is stable. At least they can control to produce the same flavor every time. And then the next process is roasting. It's also like affects the taste or the flavor of the coffee beans a lot. Usually when we buy like some coffee beans on the market, we can see there's something called light, medium, and dark. And they are also something like they will also give things some like a pie diagram saying like sour, bitter, and strong or whatever. They tell you the how they like evaluate the flavor of the beans. And for this one, this part is usually determined by this roasting process. So this is like called the most important two steps or milestones is the first crack and the second crack. Around first stack and after the first stack crack, it means the coffee beans is somehow ready to be uh, grinded and used by the customer. Uh, Before that, usually it's just something you cannot really drink. And the closer to the first crack, the light the roast is. And usually it also means the sour the bean is. And around between the first and the second crack, it will become more and more, it will become sweeter and sweeter. And usually it's something called medium roast. And after the second crack and after it, usually it's called dark roast. And it will only have, usually you will taste something like dark chocolate, nuts, and bitter. And the time after second crack, it will make the beers oily, and they will be used for espresso. So sometimes you will see like on these bikes, they will say these beans are used for power coffee. Some others are used for espresso, and some of them may be labeled as it can be used for both power and espresso. It just sometimes usually it's also determined by this roasting process where the beans is get out of the roasting machine. And so we can see this affects the how the beans taste and how it smells. And sorry, one more thing is like the lighter the roast is, the virus the flavor is. Usually you will be able to taste the floral and fruity and something maybe like peach or whatever or lemon from like light and medium roasted. Once it becomes dark roasted, usually you will taste like chocolate, dark chocolate nuts, and some sugar, those kind of things. And the next thing is the like filter cup and the filter used when you make pour coffee. So the two major or two main types of filter cups are one is called flat bottom, the other is called like coil filter, and the most popular one, most famous one is called V60. And for example, for this one, there are actually three holes on the bottom, three small holes on the bottom. So when you use like a flat filter, the water flow speed will be slower than the like V60 or the coil filter. And the filter paper used will also be different. We can see usually this is something used for the flat bottom filter, and you need to like bend it and fold it to make it like this. And for coil filter, we can see it's just like a coil, and the water speed is much faster. Not much faster. It's just faster than the flat bottom. And the difference here is because this one, which means the water, the hot water like molecules will interact with the coffee the ingredients, the molecules in the coffee powders more efficiently. They will interact with each other. And so the flavor is balanced, and usually you can taste most of the flavors in the beans. And for this one, it's fast, which means you can control what flavor you want to extract from the coffee powders, which means this one is not as stable as flat bottom, but it gives the coffee maker like more choices. He or she can control what flavor I want to bring to the customer. For example, if they make, for example, they can make it sweeter, they can make it sour, or they can make it bitter. For this one, you cannot really control that. So these are the things that will affect the how a pour coffee tastes. So basically, first is about the beans, and the second is about the coffee powder, the instruments we use, the filter we use here, and like also the water temperature. So yeah, so these are the things I want to present today. And Merry Christmas and have a good coffee time.